What's good, everybody? I'm Nix from DYSG, and here is your video for the top 10 movies that deserve reboots or sequels. We all love movies, right? And no, I'm not talking to that one person who's like, "No, I don't like movies." This ain't for you, weirdo. Movies that have stuck with us and stood the test of time. And if you're like me, you've seen one or two and you wondered, why didn't they make that a sequel? And even nowadays, with the evolution of CGI and virtual effects, a lot of movies from the past could use a little modern day polish. So which movies deserve which? Let's start with our first one. Disney's Sky High sequel. Now, most of the characters from this movie have all aged up and they don't really fit the high school character anymore. What you could have is a new generation of Sky High students dealing with certain problems that the past didn't deal with. You could even have Will and Layla all grown up with children having their own problems, whether it be power struggles or teen angst. Labyrinth. Reboot. Like I said at the top, man, CGI and virtual effects have grown way beyond the puppeteering that we have seen from past movies. This one could definitely slap with a modern touch. And I know that no one's gonna be happy about the recasting of Jareth. We miss you. But hey, things need to be done. Matilda, reboot. Again, most of the cast is too old now for a sequel, so a reboot would be the best thing to do. And also with this reboot, can we get an explanation of how and why Matilda got her powers? In the first one, it was just like she got her powers and we were like, okay. Hancock, sequel. Now some of y'all might think Will is too old to still do this one, but I don't think so. And if you're a comic nerd like me, you've already picked up on the fact that Hancock is pretty much the story of Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Let's explore more of that. Maybe Hancock and Mary seek out others who are like them. And can we also give them a true opposition? A more believable villain. Chronicle, sequel. This is easily one of the dopest movies that nobody talks about. And the cliffhanger left open a lot of questions. What did my man Matt end up finding in Tibet? The never-ending story. Reboot. In the same vein with Labyrinth, CGI and virtual effects have just grown by leaps and bounds. I think this one could also deserve a modern polish. Plus, I truly believe that this current generation deserves as much confusion as we got watching this movie. Spaceballs, reboot. The original was made in 1987, and they only had the OG trilogy to pull from for material. But now, there is so much more Star Wars source material to pull from. Spaceballs could be its own trilogy. Big Trouble in Little China, reboot. Now, we all have heard about the rumor of The Rock making a sequel to this, but I think it needs to get that reset button. And with what we've seen in MCU movies with the CGI and virtual effects, and not to mention the choreography of Shang-Chi, Big Trouble in Little China could have more elaborate and fantastic fight scenes. Wanted, sequel. Now, I know that this one is a sore spot for a lot of people because Hollywood took several liberties when it came to adapting the movie from the comic book. But to me, it still slapped. We could even explore the story deeper with more assassins. Maybe even see what type of life Wes leads now. And for my last pick, The Last Dragon, sequel or reboot. Hear me out. With most of the cast no longer around, we have to take advantage of the fact that Timac is still alive. You could have a sequel where he has his own kids, or even students who are trying to achieve the glow. And as an antagonist, you gotta bring in the son or daughter of Sho'nuff. Another option would be a prequel origin story. How did Sho'nuff become the Shogun of Harlem? How did he get the glow? But again, those are just my top 10 picks. What do you guys think? Did I forget something? Should I have left something off? Leave it down in the comments below. Again, my name is Nix, and as always, live to play to win to live. I speak geek. Do you speak geek?